rejoice by what we have heard, that it is not really about religion. War happens because it's a human condition. We humans decide towards violence instead of peace. I hope you have gathered and you have clarity about the fact that the Muslim faith does not inspire war. We have to open our hearts towards that. And we are the generation that is going to make a difference. There's always been conflict because of us, because of humanity. And some of them are initiated by the religious freedom that some people want. Pakistan and India, for instance. Or the Crusades, in the 1100s. So we have to try to come together in our minds and hearts with the idea that wars will stop when we, humanity, decide for a different resolution of conflict. We have to decide that. And it happens here at home. We have Christians going against Christians. When somebody puts a bomb in an abortion clinic, that's the same as terrorism. It's the same terrorism. We have to stand against that. So how can we come together? We come together by finding a common ground. By speaking about a common ground, by expressing a common ground. And that common ground has to do with the connection with the human and the divine. All traditions talk about that. This is not a unity teaching. All traditions link humanity with its divine counterpart. Whether we call it God or Rama or Allah or Yahweh or nothing at all, we are still connected to a divine energy and a divine mind that moves through us. And that's where the healing has to happen. The healing happens by taking that disconnection and putting it back together. That's the healing. All traditions say, thou shalt not kill. All traditions value life. We must too. We must too. There's going to be a generation that will see on the History Channel the events that happened on 9/11. I know that there's a generation, some of you are still here, that experienced the invasion or the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and you probably don't buy Japanese cars. But some of us that don't know about it, we buy Japanese cars. You see, we watched it on the History Channel. Kids that are right about 13, 14, 15, they were only 4 or 5 years old then. They don't know about this. They're going to watch one more movie. They're going to watch the movie of the Holocaust. They're going to watch the movie of Pearl Harbor. They're going to watch the movie of all the wars, World War I or World War II. They're going to watch then. They're going to watch, and then there's 9/11. It's sort of like the last wave of the cyclical aspect of war, the cyclical aspect of conflict in the world. You and I are here to make a difference. We have to take a stand for peace. We have to take a stand. And you take that stand as you make your own internal connection with your Creator. You take that stand as you make a connection with the true values of Christianity, which is, as we heard from Rabbi Chaim, love one another. As we heard from Shabbat, love each other. That's how we do. When we agree, where we can, wherever we can. When we agree to that, we're going to start a meaningful conversation towards peace on earth. This doesn't mean we have to accept what we don't accept. We don't have to consider what we don't accept. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We don't have to mention it anymore. We're just simply going to forgiveness. We send all the light we we can to everyone that was hurt that day, to everyone that received an injury, to everyone that is in pain because they loved a loved one. We send all the light we can to them, all the love we can to them, so that we can be an instrument of transformation in that person's life. And that's how we go. We go on one person at a time. That's what we believe in. We must arise in the consciousness of peace. We have to speak peace. We have to do our very best to honor all the traditions. I love how Khalil Gibran puts it, you know, all the religions of the world are like the fingers in the hand of God. They all lead to the comfort of God's palm. They all lead to that place in which we recognize our oneness. That's what it's all about. You and I have to change. You and I have to speak for peace. You and I have to make a difference wherever we are. Wherever we are. I was talking to Shaban, to Bassam Shaban. By the way, he's going to be at our Unity Center this coming Sunday. This Sunday. When is it? This Sunday he's going to be there. We're going to have a conversation on the platform from Christianity and Muslim traditions, because I'm sure you're curious about a lot of things. Like, what about the women, right? Yeah, those women, the women are like, what about the women? Well, we're going to get to talk to him about this. And the thing is, when we arise into that conscious awareness, we become more graceful as to what we can do for others. Shaban was explaining to me that for them to worship, you know, their worship time is on Fridays. And if you work, he's like you and I, you know, he has two little twin girls, 3-year-olds, and I'm sure they are like, oh God, we wanted these children, and then some days, oh God, give us patience, like any other parent, you know. Well, they both work, and in order for them to go to worship, she has to take her lunch hour. She has to take her lunch hour to go to mosque. And the month of Ramadan just finished a week ago, a few days ago. And you know, if you are in a supervisory capacity in any corporation, and you know that there is a Muslim, and you know that this is the high holy days, as we call them in Judaism, you know, if it's the high holy days, and we take Christmas Eve off, and sometimes the day before, you know, wouldn't it be fair to give them the time to go worship in the most high day? Small, but it is so meaningful to providing unity amongst us. It is so meaningful and so respectful, and it is considering, and it is loving. It's like saying, you have your path, I have my path, we honor your path. I'm grateful that I am a co-worker, and I am willing to respect you to the point where I will do whatever it takes. I will do your job so that you can go worship your God in the way in which you have to. That's the spirit of unity. That's what we need to create in humanity. We must come alive. To all religions in the world, all religions, that's the goal of all religions. That you come alive in the spirit, that you come alive in love, that you come alive in peace, that you come alive in creativity, that you come alive in passion, that you come alive in health and vitality. All religions want for all of us to come alive, to live a life that is fruitful, to live a life of compassion, to live a life that is kind, to help our neighbors, to help our brothers and sisters, to forgive, to love unconditionally. Everybody talks about the same stuff. All spiritual paths are offering us the ways and the means to get there. You and I, this is a very unique opportunity. You and I must create a place in which we are alive with the Spirit, where we are so touched by that living, loving presence that dwells in us, that everywhere we go, we're offering light to others. We're offering love to others. We're offering understanding to them. That is our call. The United States of America has started the best revolutions in the world. We began by being against the monarchy. We decided we wanted democracy. And today there's quite a few Arab countries are wanting to have some sort of democracy because they are under dictatorships. We started that revolution, believe it or not, because of our consciousness. We have so many illegal immigrants, you know why? Because it's so good here. That's why. They want to be here because we have freedom of speech, because we have freedom of religion, because we honor one another. They want to be here because they feel like this is a better life. We can be an example to the rest of the world. Just like we're an example of freedom of speech and freedom of religion, we can be an example of peace in the world. If we begin 300 million people not agreeing to peace, not approving budgets for war, not approving money that goes to anything other than peace, if we do that together, we will plant the seeds in consciousness. We will plant the seeds